In lesson 2.4, we're going to talk about two terms that you have to remember. One is an equation. And an equation is a math sentence with an equal sign. Okay? Any math sentence that has an equal sign is an equation. And if it doesn't have an equal sign, then it is either an expression, so it could have many answers, or it's an inequality, which has the greater than sign or less than sign or equal to sign. The other term that you have to, I want you to highlight in your notes is open sentence. Highlight that word, or put a box around it. An open sentence. This is a math sentence. A sentence is an equation. An equation and a sentence are the same thing in math. Okay? If the sentence has all numbers, it's called a closed sentence. Because there's no variables. There's no variation in it. The numbers are already there. Okay? If it does have an equation or a variable in it, like this one, then it's called an open sentence, because there is a variable. Okay? Any sentence with a variable is called an open sentence. Now, there are also, you can identify either a true sentence or a false sentence, or a true equation and a false equation. Like 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's a true sentence. Okay? So, if it gave you this equation and said, is this true? You would write, yes, this is true. A false equation is an equation that is not equal on both sides. So 1 plus 2 equals 2, that's a false equation. Okay? It's not an open sentence because it doesn't have a variable. Okay? So what you'll be doing is using these sentences or using open sentences and checking with a number to see if it makes the equation true. Okay? For example, go to your worksheet. In problem number 1, this gives you a situation. You rode in a car 180 miles at 60 miles per hour. Suppose t, or let t be the time it took. Can t be 4 hours? So what we are supposed to do is write an equation, and then, given this value, check to see if it makes the equation true. Let's start by writing an equation. 180 miles at 60 miles per hour. How could we write an equation for that? This is an equation that you use a lot in science class. Okay? It's called the distance formula. Alright? So, write this next to this one. Distance equals rate times time. Distance equals rate times time. This is a really important science formula. Distance equals rate times time. So are we given some of these in this question? What are we given? Can we fill in this formula using the information that's given? Brett, what numbers are we given?
Distance is 180 miles. Rate is...
Good. 180 miles is the distance. And then in our formula, that equals... Does it give us the rate or the time? What is the rate?
60 miles per hour.
60, correct. 60 miles per hour.
Times T.
And does it give us the time?
No.
No,
But it
kind of. It asks us to check one of the times. But for the formula, T is the time. So write T next to 60. That means 60 times T. Now it says, does 4 make the equation true?
No.
So write in 180 equals 60 times 4. And we know that that's not true. 6 times 4 is 24. So 60 times 4 is 240. So this is a false equation. So put a line through it and write no. Okay? Yes or no also means true or false, right? Ernie scored 8 more points than Mike scored. Ernie scored 20 points. Let P be the number of points Mike scored. And P be 12. So, I like to model these because it gives us a value. Ernie scored 8 more than Mike, right? So which of these boxes would be Ernie, would represent Ernie? The bigger one. Yep. And so Mike would be the smaller one. What does this space represent?
Distance between what Ernie scored and what Mike scored.
Correct, the difference. And what is the difference? It says it in the problem.
12.
No.
8.
8 more. So, M plus 8 equals E. Correct?
Yeah.
M plus 8 equals E, except it says to use P for the points that Mike scored. So instead of M, we should use P. I don't know why. Oh, I suppose P for points. That makes sense. So P plus 8 equals E. Now, can P be 12 if Ernie scored 20?
Yes.
Well, 12 plus 8 equals 20, so yes. Yay, math!
Yay, man.
That's what they're screaming about.
Yeah, that's what I'm screaming about.
Oh, totally. 110%.
Each person in your class, number 3, each person in your class contributed a quart of punch for the school dance. You divided them into gallon containers and got 5 gallons. Let Q be the number of quarts you started with. Could Q be 20? How many quarts are there in a gallon? 4 quarts in a gallon? So again, I like to model these because you can see what's happening here. Okay? Each person in your class contributed a quart. So you started with a whole bunch of quarts, right? And it ended up being how much?
5 gallons.
It ended up being 5 gallons. So this number of quarts equals 5 gallons, right? Let Q be the number of quarts. So we don't know how many there were. Could Q be 20? Well, if we're putting them into groups of 4, since there are 4 quarts in a gallon, that 4 of these, 4 quarts equals 1 gallon, right? So, Q divided by 4 equals 5. times. And could q be 20? Does 20 divided by 4 equal 5? Yes. Yay, math.
Yay, math. Woo! Yay, math.
Okay.
What if there was a
All right, you type a 600-word essay in 12 minutes. Way to go. Let W be the number of words you can type in 1 minute. And W be 60. So, again, we start with, I like to draw a model for these. This is 600 words. Right?
Right.
And if you can do 1 minute equals 60 words, then does this equal 12 minutes? Does that equal 12 minutes? 12. Wouldn't the number of minutes, I'm sorry, yeah, 12 times the number of words equal 600?
no?
So 12 minutes times how many words you can do in a minute? Now, could W be 60? Does that equal 600? No. This is the right equation though, isn't it? The number of minutes times the number of words per minute would equal a total. It's kind of like the distance formula. The rate at which you can type is 60 words per minute. So if you type for 12 minutes, you would get the number of total words. Right? But it would only take you 10 minutes to do 600 words if you could do 60 words a minute, not 12. So if we put in the number given, that's a false equation. Okay? What is the equation called with a variable? Any equation with a variable is called an what? Raise your hand. Jen? An open sentence. Nate?
Where did you across that equal? Which one?
Oh, on this last one?
Follow.
Through the equal sign, meaning that this does not equal. This, 12 times 60 does not equal 600. When the equation does not equal the given amount, then put a slash through it to show that it's not equal. Okay? Yeah, the slash is cool. So in this first section for tomorrow, you're going to check the given value. And this given value will be on the side, on the right side. So they give us an equation, and then they want you to check this given value. And we've done this before. You substitute it in with parentheses and see if it makes a true sentence. If it does, write yes. If it doesn't, write no. Okay? Then, we know how to do these. 1/5 of a number. Let me help you with this first one. 1/5 of a number is n. So, how would you write, what does of mean when you're figuring this out? You know what the word of refers to, what operation? Well, it's sort of like divide. It's really multiplication. But multiplication and division are related. Alright? So you could do n divided by 5 to get 1/5, Emily. You're right. Or you could do 1/5 times n, and it gives you the same thing. This is 1/5 of n. This also gives you 1/5 of n. And it says is equal to -7. Okay? So what type of equation is this? Since it has a variable, it's an open sentence. Okay? Write an equation for each sentence. Is each true, false, or an open sentence? That's what you're doing in this section. The last one is a lot like the ones that we did on the first side. Okay? Any questions? In the first section, you're writing yes or no. In the second one, you're writing true, false, or open. And then writing equations and solving one. Okay? Nate?
Is this graded?
No, this is practice. Okay?
Practice.
Joy?
How do you get the open sentences? What is
The open sentence has a variable in it. So look at number 9, for example. 14 equals x minus 9.
so that's an open sentence?
This is an open sentence because of the s. It has a variable in it. But this one, 8 plus 7 equals 10. Is that an open sentence? Does that have a variable? No. No. So that's a false sentence. Okay? All right, finish this up for tomorrow.
Hey, Matt.
Yay, math.